What's going on? Thanks for checking out this video. Elon Musk. This guy's absolutely not messing around in his mission to make Twitter more fair and balanced. To weed out and fire all the Twitter employees whose job it was to ensure that opinions and news that they didn't like would be suppressed so damn hard that you would never know it even existed to begin with. So yesterday, he took out another 4,400 employees. They were contractors though, so I guess it could be asked if they were technically called Twitter employees. But once I heard the type of work that so many of them were tasked with doing, I was absolutely thrilled to hear that they were terminated. So, let's dive in and find out exactly what happened here. Elon Musk fires thousands of Twitter contractors responsible for, here it comes, battling misinformation on the site. A week after sacking half of its permanent staff, contractors suddenly locked out of work systems turned to Twitter for confirmation. So yeah, they were contractors. But given the fact that many of their duties was to battle misinformation, it doesn't really make much difference to me what they are called, because we know just exactly the kind of people we're dealing with here. And Twitter is definitely better off without them. There's nothing worse than a company, especially a massive social media company where hundreds of millions of people gather to converse about anything and everything. And that company decides they need a team who gets to be the arbiters of the plebs to tell them what is and isn't true. And particularly when that company was extremely biased. Twitter's new owner, Elon Musk, is further wiping out the teams that battle misinformation on the social media platform as outsourced moderators learned over the weekend they were out of a job. The social media giant fired its contractors that track hate and other harmful content on Saturday. You see how these disingenuous hacks always have to frame it like Elon Musk is turning Twitter into a scary and dangerous place? This is exactly how they chase off advertisers. Some of the contractors said they didn't realize they were sacked until they weren't able to log on to work on Saturday. Musk's move comes after Twitter fired much of its full-time workforce by email on November 4th. Yeah, we already know that. I covered that as well. That was a really fun video to make. Check it out in the upper right-hand corner if you haven't seen it yet. About 4,400 of 5,500 contractors have been fired, according to reporter Casey Newton from Platformer News. Melissa Engel, who worked at Twitter as a contractor for more than a year, was one of a number of contractors who said they were terminated without notification on Saturday. She said she's concerned that there's going to be an increase in abuse on Twitter with the number of workers leaving. I love the platform and I really enjoyed working at the company and trying to make it better. And I'm just really fearful of what's going to slip through the cracks. Yeah, I'm sure you're so concerned about abuse. We all know you're just worried that people who don't think like you do will be able to speak more freely now. Because Musk already stated plainly that there will still be moderation. He just obviously wants to bring in his own people. And hopefully it's people who will be more impartial. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and want to hear more of me covering this type of stuff, I also cover a lot of pop culture stories. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. It really helps me out a lot. Back to it. Newton said that those employees impacted are involved in Twitter's marketing, content moderation, and real estate sectors. Contractors aren't being notified at all. They're just losing access to Slack and email. Managers figured it out when their workers just disappeared from the system. They heard nothing from their leaders. A Twitter manager wrote on the company's Slack site that a contractor was working on the child safety workflow when they got locked out without warning, according to Newton. One contractor said they learned they were fired from Newton's tweets reporting the mass firing. I just learned I was laid off by reading your tweets and then trying to log in on Slack and email and realized it was all gone, the contractor wrote. I'll be fair here and admit that it's pretty shitty to not be notified you're even being terminated and have to find out through other people's tweets. But I'm sure Elon Musk has his reasons for doing so. The most glaringly obvious one from where I'm looking is so he doesn't create a big media frenzy until after the firings have already been done. Casey Newton says, getting word that a large number of Twitter contractors were just laid off this afternoon with no notice, both in the US and abroad. Functions affected appear to include content moderation, real estate. Yeah, we already read that. Contractors aren't being notified at all. They're just losing access to Slack and email. Managers figured it out when their workers just disappeared from the system. They heard nothing from their leaders. Well, he's not in the business of sugarcoating things. Just cut out the fat and move on. I don't really need to read the rest of these tweets. Engel, a data scientist, said she worked on the data and monitoring arm of Twitter's civic integrity team, Her job involved writing algorithms to find political misinformation on the platform in countries such as the US, Brazil, Japan, Argentina, and elsewhere. My God. I will always celebrate when people who had the job of writing these algorithms are taken out. All they do is suppress information they don't like and lift up everything that they do. You know, nobody should have the power to lord over everybody like that. They will always end up abusing it. Ingalls said she was pretty sure I was done for when she couldn't access her work email Saturday. The notification from the contracting company she'd been hired by came 2 hours later. I'll just be putting my resumes out there and talking to people, she said. I have 2 children, and I'm worried about being able to give them a nice Christmas, you know? And just mundane things like that are important. I just think it's particularly heartless to do this at this time. Blah, 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 yeah, whatever. Run to the media with your sob story so they can continue to demonize this whole situation. Yeah, I know she has children, and I know Christmas is coming, but she really needs to stop and ask herself why exactly Elon would fire her to begin with. I would assume she works remotely and doesn't even work in the office headquarters. Twitter hasn't said how many contract workers it cut. The company gutted its communications department and hasn't responded to media requests for information since Musk took over. And nor should they. Contractors also do other jobs to help keep Twitter running. All contractors are not content moderation agents, Robert said. Contractors fulfill many key roles inside the company, but almost all moderation agents are contractors. You know, Elon Musk put out a tweet to address these moves, and it was pretty straightforward. So here's the tweet. Please note that Twitter will do lots of dumb things in the coming months. We will keep what works and change what does not. And there you go. Pretty crystal clear. You know, it may look stupid and crazy to the people who have an axe to grind with Elon, but to everyone else, I think we have enough faith that the most successful businessman on the freaking planet knows what he's doing here. And I know it's also fair to point out that these cuts are most likely more about cutting costs and reducing Twitter's bloated staff than it is about making it more free speech oriented. But when thousands of biased content moderators are taken out, you know, I still see it as an absolute win for those that are hoping it does become an equally moderated platform. You know, the guy's just done with all these employees who don't even work in the office headquarters. That's the way he does it at Tesla, and that's the way he's going to do it at Twitter. And speaking of that, now that Elon has laid down the law about having to work in the actual office, all these activists are now bellyaching that he cut the free lunches that was costing the company $13 million a year. I'll just say, not only was I never given free lunch at any of the jobs I have ever worked, and check this shit out, I sure as hell was never given $400 lunches for free. What the fuck kind of food were these employees eating? It's no wonder Twitter employees all act like entitled, pretentious snobs. The media continues to make it look like he's some kind of a tyrant for cutting this out. But come on, $400 lunches for free? Get out of here with that. You know, he's got to find a way to make the company profitable again somehow. And insanely expensive free lunches is not going to do it. That according to Elon Musk, nobody was even eating them. It was costing the company $13 million a year for these lunches. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in here too because I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, look at this shit. Musk's chaotic attempt to take over Twitter. Oh, shut up. These mainstream media outlets are such a joke. But I'll be sure to keep on making videos covering all the fun. So, yeah, I know. Twitter really is in a terrible place financially. And I'll reiterate that I'm fine with Twitter either collapsing out of existence or becoming a free and fair platform. Though I do prefer the latter. And these biased content moderators getting fired is definitely an important step in getting there. I'll have my mug ready to catch all the tears. Let that salt flow, boys. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think of the latest firings in the comments down below. Also, please like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy my content. And I'll catch you all later.